One of the most iconic tank stories told is during the time of World War II on the front lines of one of the largest tanks battles in history, Kursk, when a Tiger I supposedly took on 50 T-34s. Is this possible given the Tiger I's close to impenetrable armor versus these tanks? Or could this have been a tall tale of German propaganda? Today, we put this to the test. For our first round, we'll be doing one Tiger E versus 30 T-34s of 1940 and 1941 variants. Depending on how round one goes, we'll add more to see what it really takes. And then our last round, for fun, we do an all-out battle of Tiger 1s and Tiger 2s versus all World War II T-34 variants to see how that goes. A good player in the Tiger was needed, and from his stats, he seems like he could be a good fit for the job. If this Tiger is going to have any chance at this, he'll need to accurately be able to pick off many of the T-34s before they can reach him or get too close. The story goes that Franz Staudinger, a 22-year-old staff sergeant in the Muffin SS, mistakenly ran into two T-34s at night, and when getting out of his Tiger to approach them and realizing they were Soviet tanks, he threw in two hand grenades into the hatches, killing them both. Soon after, 50 T-34s engaged Franz's Tiger, killing 22 T-34s, but ran out of ammo and retreated. Some ammo even being used were HE shells, which lacked penetration but was able to disable some of the T-34s. However, the Tiger has the ammo capacity to hold enough rounds, which our contestant decided to bring out with him. I couldn't find record to how many of the Tiger shells hit and that missed, but if Franz had his Tiger full with 92 rounds according to War Thunder and ran out after knocking out 22 T-34s, that could have suggested 4 or 5 misses or non-penetrating hits per T-34 to take out. The first T-34 starts coming into closer range of our Tiger contestant, trying to get behind a mound of dirt for cover. Using the rangefinder could have helped a little here to help gauge the distance, but with the T-34s constantly moving toward him, it might throw it off a little. Historically, from what I understand, is that there were many misses made by the tanks during the war while trying to hit their targets. And taking out the first T-34 with 29 more to go, he's going to need a lot of accurate shots to hopefully take out many needed before what looks like the T-34 team is rushing in and they get too close. T-34 is making a smart move here by shooting smoke rounds, which only the 1941 variant has, to help blind the Tiger I to help their advance. The T-34s knowing they need to get closer, some try to take shots, but have to stop in order to do so to help give them a chance to get any sort of accurate shot off. Even though the Tiger's armor is nearly impenetrable at this distance, there is a chance they could hit his barrel or tracks to try and disable him. And I know on these larger maps it can get really difficult to try to aim in and fire accurately on some of these targets, but I can just imagine his frustration with trying to get them. Only 3 taken out so far, 27 more to go, and they are closing in fast. And right there, a T-34 was able to hit the barrel of the Tiger, disabling it. In real life, that's game over for this tank in this situation. But in War Thunder, trying to repair this right now before they get closer. T-34s across the 30 that it was against. Didn't even go against 50. How historically was this possible? Already looking like German propaganda, we now amp up the Tiger team to 4 because of how bad this went. The Tiger team split up, 2 starting off on one side while the other 2 spawn off on another. I don't know exactly how the physics or mechanics work in real life when so many shells are hitting a metal plate constantly over and over again, but I would think 50 T-34s, if they were all shooting the Tiger at once, in the historical story, that it would start to diminish that metal over time, making it weaker and weaker. How many shells could the Tiger 1 have taken? We go into the player Tiger's view. That's the closest to the T-34 engagement. And missing a lot of these shots at the beginning is crucial. They are needing to take as many of these T-34s out before they get much closer. However, as they get closer, it will make it easier for the Tiger team to take these out and hit them, miraculously bouncing off. The T-34 variants of 1940 and 1941 were surprisingly able to deflect more rounds than I was expecting. The first Tiger with only him taking out 2, we now go to the second Tiger player's perspective that's now closest to the T-34 wave engagement. And holy cow, barely any of these T-34s taken out. Yes, there's a little truck there, and made sure that they were just spectating, not playing necessarily, only the T-34s, surprisingly not killing very much, but still 2 Tigers left to go. Some T-34s going hull down using the mound as much as possible to protect themselves, still getting hit and losing another Tiger down to the last one. Can he hold the ground? Even when adding 4 Tiger 1s, only 5 of the T-34s fell. I don't know how that is. The first one, he was able to kill 4, doing an excellent job. We now go into our last round with a series of Tiger 2s and Tiger 1s versus a wave of T-34s. Let's see how this goes. All T-34 variants now being used in this, there is the T-34-85, which has a penetration value of about 148 millimeters of penetration. But it's not going to be enough to get through the thick frontal armor of the turret and hull of the Tiger II players playing. However, the Tiger 1 with its about 100 millimeters of frontal armor is going to have to angle and play it a bit carefully against what now the Soviets have. This range, the T-34 is able to hit the big tracks of the Tiger tanks, causing them to come to a standstill. And not being angled enough, getting hit from the side, they are starting to swarm and flank in different directions. At this point, I just could not believe it. Only 2 T-34s have been killed and we have more Tigers. I guess Russian bias can't be beaten. With 3 Tigers left, they're going to have to work very closely to make this happen. With there only being 22 T-34s still coming right at them. So far, we've done 2 types of KURSK videos, and in each one of them from the Germans' perspectives, I must say it has seemed quite frightening to see so many Soviet tanks coming right at you. I can only imagine what this would have been like for both sides seeing what they saw. Total to only 20 T-34s left. Thank you to all those that helped, and thank you to my patrons. You all stay cool and keep taking.